Mike Taylor, thank you for joining today. We're so glad to have you as part of our series, Showmen Currently in the Field.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about you to start off? So, where are you at right now, and what does your career look like?
I live near Bluffton, Indiana, and I'm actually working which is just south of Fort Wayne a little ways. Bluffton's a small town, but I'm working in Logansport, Indiana for Tyson Foods as a hog buyer. I've been working for Tyson for just over 28 years now, so it's been a while. But I'm married and have four daughters, and they are all between the ages of 23 and 31, so growing up on me. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I've been in the hog industry on the production side of it, not on the production side, but on the plant side of things for quite some time.
And Mike, your daughters were dominant in the show ring. You have done a fantastic job with those four girls. So, kind of tell us where they're at now, what they're up to, and then I want to dive into life raising girls in the show ring.
Okay. My oldest daughter, Kayla, is married to Austin Jose Burns, and they live up in Michigan, and they're raising show pigs yet. And she's got three little kids and doing great. My youngest daughter, Bailey, just married Ryan Driscoll, so they're raising show pigs as well and farming. And she works in Fort Wayne as an ag or as a financial consultant, not really in the ag industry, but so that's what she's doing. My two middle ones are moved out now and living here close to Bluffton, but not working in the ag industry either as well, but are still have ties strongly to the hog industry and helping mentor other kids in the show ring as well. So we they enjoyed showing pigs and have tried to carry that on and help mentor youth as they've gotten out.
Absolutely. Well, one of my examples, because I'm also one of four, so I felt like I always had that in common with your girls. And I think that the ones outside of agriculture actually promote the agriculture industry better than I have the opportunity to do because I live it every single day. And I always joked had a sister that was in New York City. And that girl talked more about pigs in New York City than we probably did on a daily basis with a different crowd. So I'm sure
Yeah.
your girls can connect, but the skills you learn in the show ring and growing up the way we did will carry them no matter what industry they're in.
Absolutely. It's taught them a lot and given them a lot of sense of responsibility and just work ethic, and it's carried on with them wherever they go and whatever they do. And like you said, they tell me all the time, the people they talk to that have no idea what we do, and they can teach a lot of people on what they've had experiences in the past, even though they're not currently in the ag industry anymore. So it is great how they can pass it along.
Absolutely. So why was it important for you to raise your family with livestock? How did you find yourself in the show barn?
Well, I grew up on a dairy farm actually. It's when I was a kid, and we showed animals all through 4-H, and that was just what we did and enjoyed it a lot. My wife and I both, and I just knew that's how we wanted to raise our girls, and we started out showing several different species, and the girls kind of decided that hogs were their favorites. That's what we concentrated the most on, and we learned a lot and met a lot of great people in the industry, and it's just amazing the people you meet that have nothing to do in the show industry that you never thought would correlate to what you do outside of that, and you meet people all the time, and it's just a great place to raise your kids and teach them work ethic. And it's just, I feel like we lack that in a lot of homes nowadays, is teaching kids about what it is to work and get up every day and have passion for what you do.
I love that. Talking about what you do every single day, you actually go to the different side of maybe what we're used to from a show pig perspective, and you go to the end of the life cycle as a hog buyer for Tyson, and that is where like you work where they harvest animals every day. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 16,750 head a day is what we run through the Logansport plant. Yeah, it's neat to see the process of it all. But I deal more so with the production side of things and talking with farmers every day and all that. But it is definitely neat to see the process from start to finish. And from when I started 28 years ago until now, it has changed tremendously. And I think it has become harder for young kids to find their way into the ag field just because a lot of them they're not growing up on a farm anymore. and we've kind of lost the way for them to really make their way into the commercial side of things. Because at the IJSC events, or not IJSC, but the NJSA events and the your big shows, we just need to do a better job of promoting that there is a commercial ag industry out there that they can all go into, and those are the kids that have passion for being around livestock, and I really feel like we can push them towards that, and they will have a lot of avenues to get into the ag industry if we push them to head that way and let them know that it's there.
How did you find your job at Tyson Foods 20 years ago?
I was actually on the livestock judging team at Joliet Junior College, and my coach Dale Hummel at the time pushed me to kind of head that way because he thought it was a great career, and he was exactly right. So that was how I started out, was judging livestock, and then just got started in right out of college in Columbus Junction, Iowa, and then moved back towards Logansport within about a year. Yeah, right
And
out
you
of
said
college.
you said you started on the floor working with livestock and now you are a hog buyer. Like what
Yep.
path brought you to that?
I started out as a junior buyer working in the alleys, unloading semis at Columbus Junction. And within a year, they had opened up the Logansport plant, and I came back to Logansport and worked there as a relief buyer, and ended up becoming a station manager out at a market afterwards. And then from there, just here within the last few months, I started working at Logansport. But prior to that, I was working at different hog markets out in eastern Indiana and southwest Ohio, or southeast, yeah, southern half of Ohio technically. So just now getting to Logansport to work actually at the plant where I'm seeing harvest every day.
What do you do as a hog buyer? Can you kind of explain what your maybe your day to day would look like?
Basically, I get up in the morning and we start conversing with producers, trying to set up scheduling for loads to come in to the plant, just making sure that everybody's on time and has their schedule for the next week as well as the week that we're buying for. And it's a lot of training for truckers needing to be TQA trained for trucker quality, and producers being PQA trained, and just trying to make sure everybody is up to snuff on trainings to do that they job, and to do the job they do well, and for stuff that people that Tyson wants to deal with people that are well trained and are going to do a good job with their livestock, and we've kind of come into an industry where we have to have people trained to just to be able to show all the restaurants and everybody we sell meat to that animals coming in have been well taken care of. So that's become a big part of it as well.
Interesting. I didn't think about the aspect that you had to be a part of the training as well, but that is so important. And I feel like coming back to the show ring, like we know what taking care of good livestock looks like.
Right.
That follows through in every aspect of the industry.
Absolutely.
Fascinating. So when you are buying the hogs, are you talking about prices and weights and physically like delivering the check to the producer as well?
Yep. Most checks nowadays are auto paid, so we don't really deliver a paper check as much anymore. But there was a day when I delivered a lot of checks out into
Did
the
you?
country. Guys would bring me hogs in. When I first started, we'd run two or three semi loads a day through the hog market, and when the day was over, you'd go deliver checks or harvest sheets from the day prior, and you'd see producers every day, and now it's more phone calls and setting up trucks with these with larger producers a lot of times. But there's still some smaller ones around, but they are definitely not like they were numbers wise. But yeah, it used to be when the pigs came in, we would tattoo them to be able to identify them on the rail. So you would tattoo them with a 4-digit number, so you could look at that number on each carcass as they were hanging, to be able to get to scan them and then get data back to the producer showing how much back fat they had and how much loin depth and carcass weights and things like that. So yeah, and that's all evolved a lot over the years as well.
I'm
So
guessing with technology, no more tattoos. Do you still run like harvest data?
no, they actually do still tattoo them. Every pig that,
Do
that
they?
comes into the plant, yeah, but they tattoo everything at the plant now instead of at the markets like we used to. But yeah, every pig that comes in gets identified with a number, and that's how they know whose is whose once they get up on the rail.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, so I totally missed that. I just recently went through a Tyson plant in Waterloo, Iowa. We took our pigs ambassadors, which is through the partnership with Showpig and the
Hmm.
National Pork Board, and it was fascinating. And I love talking about it because being a show pig kid, we know the breeds of animals because we still show breeds of animals.
Right.
But it was neat to talk through with our students that a lot of the pigs now at the plant are Duroc influenced. Can you talk about how that kind of trend has really impacted the industry as a whole?
Sure. Yeah, Tyson as a whole would prefer to have Duroc sired pigs. And that's because a lot of our exports to Japan and customers we have would prefer a Duroc sired pig for just because of its meat quality. And so yeah, we've pushed that within the industry, and it's really taken hold. And a lot of large percentage of the pigs that we harvest are Duroc sired. So as well as open pen gestation. Producers have been pushed to kind of have more open pen gestation as well. And that's just that all just because of customers' needs and wants, and what they push for that to be a priority. So we've tried to push that as well to meet our customers' needs. So
Fascinating. Well, one of the things I also take away when I have the opportunity to walk through a plant is just the technology that is able to be put in the plant, but then also how consistent those animals are. Like
yeah,
they look exactly the same. It's very humane, it's fast, it's clean. It is a fascinating thing to see. So when you do have an opportunity to get in the plant, I would encourage anyone to take that opportunity. But Mike, what could you tell us like the weight of the animal that you're seeing hung? What like is there an average weight that you're looking for? Kind of what that animal looks like when it gets there.
sure. Our typical weight at the plant is going to run in that 280 to 290 average live weight typically. But 230 to 290 would be our premium weight without discounts coming into our plants. But yeah, those pigs have gotten bigger over the years. 25, 30 years ago, pigs were 230, 40, 50, and we've made them so much bigger because it's just more efficient to have a larger animal to run through the plants, and it just makes it more cost efficient to do that. But yeah, it is the technology on things is just amazing. Each animal, it's amazing on how efficient they are, and how each person has a job and are very efficient at it. And those things run through roughly 1,000 an hour is how many they can run through, and it's just amazing the efficiency and the technology on everything from what it was 25, 30 years ago.
Can't even imagine. Now, next, tell me about the biosecurity. So we talk a lot about biosecurity and keeping pigs healthy, but the plant that I was at, they clean like top to bottom every 12 hours? Like they run
Yeah,
two shifts. Are you guys doing the same?
yeah, we run two shifts at Logansport, and yeah, we shut down. We have a first and second shift, and then overnight they shut down and wash and disinfect everything, and yeah, everything is cleaned daily. Yeah, and that's all, and it's all USDA inspected, and everything is inspected and made sure that it's up to top notch specs for cleanliness, and as
That's
well as biosecurity as well. Even for the livestock farmers, the trucks that leave the plants, majority of the time they go back and they get washed out to try to keep washed and disinfected to keep anything from going back to the farms disease wise. So disinfection and all that is very, very important to keep things healthy in our swine herd as well.
awesome. Okay, so we're talking to a young person who is interested in, livestock judging or the meat side of things. What advice would you give to them if they're interested in a career in the greater swine industry?
Sure. There's lots of jobs, whether it's production or marketing or feed, nutrition. There's so many jobs that can be gotten into coming out of high school or college for that matter. And yeah, don't be afraid to go talk to people that you see out, at trade shows or wherever that might be. Um, and because there's so many positions, whether it's, and if you're a person that enjoys farrowing sows every day, I mean, there's so much production possibilities at a management level, or a person that gets down there and gets dirty every day. And there's people that love to do that yet, and that's great. We need more of them. And people that are in the show pig industry are great candidates to step into that because they enjoy being around livestock and pigs. So, but yeah, there's so much opportunity to do on so many different levels to jump into the ag industry. So, don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions.
Okay, what is your hope for the future of the ag industry?
My hope for the future, I really hope that we can stir up an interest in youth to come into the industry that I love and my family loves, and there's just so much opportunity for kids to do, and I guess I'm not exactly sure how to extenuate on that question, but I just really hope that we can keep moving forward and keep youth and keep family farms in the industry that I love, and just keep them extremely active, because even though we've gotten these farms bigger, there's still a lot of place for the family farm within it all, and that's truly what it is. It's still family farms, even though they're on a larger level now.
I love that. And I know you're three grandkids. I'm sure we'll be tearing up the show ring. So we will see you out and about at various shows. But anything else you'd like to add, Mike?
No, there's really not. I guess I think thank you for having me on, and I really appreciate the opportunity to get on here and talk with you. Thanks for reaching out to me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us an inside look of what it looks like from a plant perspective. I don't think a lot of times when we are out walking and driving to the next show or rinsing our animals, we don't always see the harvest side of things when it comes to the greater pork industry. And Tyson and companies like yours and the people like you are truly the people who put food on our plate every single day. And I think it's neat to be able to see that perspective. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and connecting with us.
Thank you very much.